Hi folks, Pat Dagley here for the Laker News. We're at the Oland Brewery in Halifax for a visit by Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre.
Please join me in welcoming the leader of the Common Sense Conservatives and the next Prime Minister of Canada, Pierre Poilievre.
Thank you for taking some time to answer some questions.
It's an honor to be with you. Thanks very much for the invite.
Why was it important for you to make stops in Trenton and Halifax to meet with families and workers?
Because, after 9 years of the costly, chaotic, corrupt Liberals, people are struggling and feel left behind in Nova Scotia. We've got food prices up 37% faster in Canada than in the U.S. Housing costs have doubled. There's 35 homeless encampments now in Halifax. The Liberal government in Ottawa has really done a lot of damage, and people need some hope, and I'm here to bring that hope and restore Canada's promise that anyone who works hard gets a powerful paycheck and pension that buys them affordable food and homes in safe neighborhoods.
Now, U.S. President Donald Trump has set February 1st as a date for tariffs to be put on Canada and Mexico. If you are elected as Prime Minister, how would you deal with President Trump in getting any tariffs on Canadian goods removed?
With strength. President Trump detects weakness in this costly, chaotic Liberal government that's weakened our economy, weakened our dollar, weakened our borders, weakened our immigration and financial system. And so we need a strong Prime Minister who can take back control. And my common sense plan is to unleash our workers and small businesses with less tax and less red tape, to approve natural resource projects and value-added projects that will bring home the production here and make us less reliant, and look President Trump in the eye and tell him that America will be stronger if Canada is stronger, that a strong two-way trade relationship means we can invest more in our military and borders, which will make both Canadians and Americans stronger, richer, and safer.
You visited Nova Scotia a lot recently, so do you see Nova Scotia as a key battleground for you to win in order to become Prime Minister?
Yes, because after 9 years of Liberals, they've doubled housing costs, and housing prices have risen more in Halifax than in any other city in Canada. That is the result of 9 years of Liberals, and what I'm saying is let's axe the sales tax on new homes to save people up to 50 grand on their purchase. Let's push the province to do the same, and let's incentivize our cities to speed up permits, free up land, and cut development taxes to build the homes our youth can afford. And that, I think, will be the #1 issue for young people in the next election.
Nova Scotia Premier Tim Houston has called on the federal government to immediately approve the Energy East pipeline. Do you support the energy pipeline?
I support an east-west pipeline, absolutely. It makes total sense. The alternative is the idiocy that we're doing now. So this is what we do right now. We sell our oil at a discount in the West to the Americans, and we buy it at a premium in the East from the Americans and the Saudis. That is pretty much the definition of economic idiocy, and it's doing nothing for the environment. These so-called environmentalists that block the pipeline, well, I can tell them the world isn't using any less oil as a result of blocking that pipeline. It just means Canadians are buying more foreign oil and Americans are giving us a lower price for our raw materials. So why not use Canadian oil in Canadian refineries that will lower energy prices for Canadian consumers and raise wages for Canadian workers? That's a Canada First national agenda, and that's what a common sense plan and a common sense Conservative approach.
How do you approach an election that will have a different leader of the Liberal Party than Justin Trudeau, whether that's Mark Carney, Chrystia Freeland, Karina Gould, or whoever else?
Well, they're all just like Justin. Carbon tax Carney believes the carbon tax should be even higher than it is right now. He said so. He helped block pipelines in Canada while buying pipelines through his company in the Middle East and in South America. He wants to ban pickup trucks and wants to shut down our energy sector. He's even more radical than Trudeau in a lot of ways. Carbon tax Christia, well, she's the one that's been implementing Trudeau's entire disastrous economic agenda for the last 9 years. She's the one who hiked the carbon tax 167%, and she is the one who ran the big $62 billion deficit. They're all just like Justin. We need to fire the Liberals and bring in a common-sense Conservative government.
If you were to become Prime Minister, would you get the security clearance checks done?
Well, I already have the ability to receive any briefings that I need to, and so I'm happy to receive any information. Of course, I'll be briefed on national security probably every morning when I'm Prime Minister. Thank you.
There's a lot of hateful messages, threats being posted online directed at politicians of all stripes. How would you, as Prime Minister, deal with that type of rhetoric towards your fellow politicians and public officials?
Well, I think it's terrible to make threats. I mean, obviously, my family receives those kinds of nasty and hateful threats all the time. And I think that anybody who makes a threat, they should be charged. It's a criminal offense to utter threats. The problem is our criminal justice system is so weak right now that anybody who does this will just be released within hours of their latest arrest. We need to throw criminals in the slammer and leave them there, and that's what my common sense laws will do.
Thank you very much for some time.
Thank you for having me, my friend, and all the best to your viewers, readers, and listeners at the Laker.
Thank you to Aerotech Engines for sponsoring this video story. Pat Healy for the Laker News in Halifax.